Hi, it's Maggie again. A couple of years later now, and I've got some insight that might be interesting for you to follow up, for my follow-up. I'm now a remote controller, still working for the company that I work for in Tucson, and I now live in Wyoming. Yes, Wyoming. I have since then done an implementation of a system, a sales tax system for the company, and I've done it remotely. I did this from Wyoming. I don't recommend it. It's not the easiest thing to do. It's a whole lot more difficult when you can't talk face-to-face with people. Thank goodness this was for just a small segment of the company, because there are very few people who have to work with the sales tax. And I have a good working relationship with those people because I have worked with them in person. But doing it remotely had its challenges, and I found that they wouldn't answer their phone calls when I called them. It's very easy to be able to walk into an office and confront someone and say, "Talk to me." But when you're doing it by phone, it's real easy for them to just ignore you. So in the end, it took making a trip back to Tucson to finalize that implementation, to actually sit and talk face to face. Just as I said before, it's important to be with the people, talk to them, listen to them. And even though I was able to do that implementation remotely, it still took that one trip, spending a week talking to them face to face, getting their input, hearing their frustrations, hearing their anger at actually having to go through this, and their frustration that they couldn't talk to me when things happened, that they couldn't just come in and blow off steam. So even though I love being a remote controller and enjoy the biggest part of my job and enjoy the quiet, the peace, the lack of interruptions, the part of my job that required that implementation, you still really do need to be there. So good luck. Keep that in mind because it really is important. Talk to the people, listen to the people. Getting the business side of the company to work with the IT side of the company is one of the big challenges as well. IT tends to be, they know it all. What they don't know, though, is that they don't really interpret well what the management needs, what the company needs, or what the little people are trying to do. And so I find that the largest part of my job is kind of being an interpreter, talking to the IT department and taking what they know, going back to the management side or going to the little people, because it's the little people that those are the ones that have the most difficult time talking to IT, because IT tends to look down on them. They're not really very important to IT. They're just little people. And that's the biggest mistake I think that the IT people make. So think about that. Next time you're sitting down and talking to an IT person, try to come up with a way to get across to them that even though they don't look at the little people as important, they really are the most important. IT tends to think they're in their mind a lot. They're very logical. They're very mathematical, or they don't communicate well with people at all. They don't know how, because that's not how their mind works. So I found that I would get the group together. I would have IT with me and call people in, and I would ask questions and have the IT people listen. They tend to have difficult with that, and they don't really want to do it. Sometimes you kind of have to force the situation, but I've since learned that he has learned, the person that I work with, he has learned from it. He still doesn't like doing it. And you only do it, at least for me, I only do it when it's absolutely necessary, when I need to get a point across to him, because I don't want to push it too much. I need him to be on my team. So it works real well, but I think it helps too if they can kind of see the little guy's side.